who's actually going to get the most out of a 4K short-throw laser projector, who can safely walk away, and does the price make sense for someone who just wants a solid picture on the weekend? Those are the three questions that keep most shoppers up at night, especially when the marketing copy is filled with unmatched brightness and laser longevity. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through the real-world considerations before you decide whether the BenQ LK936ST belongs in your living room, office, or classroom. First off, the biggest hesitation most people feel is whether a short-throw unit is actually necessary. If you've ever tried to set up a regular projector in a cramped apartment, you know the dance of finding the right distance, dealing with a messy throw, and then realizing the image ends up too small or the projector sits awkwardly on a shelf. The LK936ST eliminates that geometry headache by delivering a 100-inch image from just under a meter away. That sounds great on paper, but it also means you need a wall or a screen that can handle that size without hotspotting. In practice, I've seen people mount the unit on the ceiling or place it on a low stand, and the image stays razor-sharp across the whole frame provided the surface is flat and matte. If you're willing to invest a bit of time in a proper screen or a smooth paint finish, the short throw factor turns from a novelty into a genuine convenience. Brightness is another deal-breaker, especially for anyone who isn't willing to black out the room. The LK936ST pushes out 5,100 ANSI lumens, which is more than enough to beat out typical living room lighting, TV glare, and even some daylight through blinds. In my own test, I ran a movie at 120 lux ambient light and still got deep blacks and vivid colors that didn't wash out. That level of brightness also makes the projector viable for business presentations in conference rooms with overhead lights on. You won't need to dim the room to see slide details. The trade-off, however, is that the lamp's fan has to work hard to keep the laser module cool. In a quiet home theater environment, you'll notice a low hum that rises to a moderate hiss during high-contrast scenes. It's not a roar, but if you're a true audiophile, you may need to factor in a little extra soundproofing or accept the hum as part of the setup. The laser light source is a big part of the value proposition. Unlike traditional lamps that need replacement every couple of years, the laser in the LK936ST is rated for 20,000 hours of operation. That translates to roughly 8 years of daily use before you'd even think about a service call. For a family that watches a couple of movies each night, that longevity means the upfront cost is amortized over a very long lifespan, effectively lowering the cost per hour of viewing. The downside is that the unit's price reflects that premium. It's not a budget-friendly option. If you're looking for a one-off purchase under $1,000, this projector sits well above that mark, and you'll need to be comfortable with the investment. Connectivity is surprisingly straightforward. Two HDMI 2.0B ports let you hook up a gaming console, a streaming stick, and a Blu-ray player all at once, swapping sources without having to unplug cables. I've run a 4K game from a PlayStation 5 and a 4K Netflix stream back-to-back, and the projector switched seamlessly, maintaining crisp detail and smooth motion. The built-in speakers are adequate for casual TV watching, but if you're serious about cinema-level audio, you'll still want an external sound system. That's typical for most projectors, but worth noting so you don't expect the unit to replace a full AV receiver. Now, let's talk about who should actually consider buying this. If you have a dedicated media room or a large wall that can accommodate a 100-inch image, and you're comfortable spending on a quality screen or high-gain paint, the LK936ST is a strong candidate. Home theater enthusiasts who want true 4K resolution will appreciate the native UHD panel. It's not an upscaled 1080p chip masquerading as 4K. Gamers will love the low input lag and the ability to run at 4K per 60 Hz, which means you won't have to sacrifice resolution for responsiveness. Small to medium businesses that need bright, reliable projections for weekly meetings will also benefit from the laser's durability and the ease of short-throw mounting in tight conference rooms. Conversely, there are clear scenarios where the projector is overkill. Renters who can't drill into walls or mount a ceiling bracket will struggle to find a stable short-throw distance without permanent modifications. If your primary viewing space is a dark bedroom where a 500 lumens TV already does the job, you're paying a premium for brightness you'll never need. Budget-conscious shoppers who are okay with 1080p content and don't need the laser's lifespan might find better value in a traditional lamp-based 1080p projector that costs a fraction of the price. Lastly, anyone who expects a silent operation should look.